What's good, y'all? So in this video, we're going over a Jerami Grant, Rob Williams trade scenario. And for those of y'all expecting the usual facecam video, I'm having technical difficulties recording myself right now. So I'm gonna have to temporarily use this voiceover format for this video. So y'all bear with me. I still want to get this content out to y'all. So I'd appreciate it if y'all like the video and we'll get back to the normal format soon. But anyways, with all that out the way, let's get to this trade scenario. Starting off with Jerami Grant. Last season with the Blazers, he averaged 21 points a game on 45% shooting from the field, 40% from 3 on 5 attempts a game, and 82% from the free throw line to go along with 3.5 rebounds and 3 assists. Then we got Robert Williams, a 26-year-old 6'9" center with a 7'6" wingspan. He only played 6 games last season, but for his career, he averages 7.3 points per game and 7 rebounds. Warriors fans, y'all might remember playing against him in the 22 finals against the Celtics. Even though he was coming off a knee injury, dude was a menace protecting the rim. He legit had some Warriors players spooked to go up for layups when he was in the paint lurking. So here's the trade proposal. Jerami Grant and Robert Williams for Andrew Wiggins, Moses Moody, Kevon Looney, and Guy Santos. Now I'm assuming Portland's going to also demand some semblance of draft compensation going back. I'm not really trying to haggle over draft compensation for this scenario. But anyways, this is what the depth chart would look like after the trade. You got Steph Curry at point, you got D'Anthony Melton at the 2, you got Kuminga at the 3, Jerami Grant at the 4, Draymond Green at the 5. Off the bench, you got Pods, Buddy, GP2, Slow-Mo, and Robert Williams. And then TJD gets pushed down to 3rd string. First and foremost, Jerami Grant and Robert Williams over Wiggins and TJD. Is that really much of an upgrade? I mean, think about it. In a vacuum, talent-wise, I think it might be a wash. Is Rob Williams better than TJD? Absolutely. But by how much? And how much of that difference is offset by the fact that Williams is always injured and never available? In his 6-year NBA career, on average, he plays about 54 games a year. He played 6 games last season and 35 games the year before that. So in the past 2 seasons, he's only been available for 41 out of the possible 164 games. When you think about it, TJD and Robert Williams are both pretty similar players and definitely the same archetype of player. That undersized but athletic speed 5 that's bouncy with long arms, a rim protector, rebounder, and solid passer. Rob Williams is just a more polished, established version of TJD. But I will say, Williams has reached his peak as a player, while TJD going to his 2nd year has room for improvement. I can even argue that Williams is on a decline, in spite of the fact that he's only 26 years old, due to all those knee injuries and knee surgeries that sapped his athleticism. Now he's still an extremely bouncy player, but in terms of mobility, he's definitely compromised. Now looking at Jerami Grant and Andrew Wiggins, both similar players as well. Is Grant a better player? I think the consensus from the average fan would say yes, but I don't think so. I actually think regardless of their stats, Wiggins is the more talented player. We've seen what Wiggins at his best looks like in that 2022 playoff run. That's a level I don't think Grant is even capable of reaching. Wiggins was the 2nd best player during that playoff run on a championship team just 2 short years ago. Jerami Grant at his best is probably your 3rd or 4th best player. Now yeah, there's no guarantee that we'll ever see that version of Wiggins again, but you know it's in there, and he's only 29 years old. And I don't think trading that upside for Grant, who at most is a lateral move in terms of production, gets you anywhere, especially when you consider the fact that you would have to include Moses Moody and Guy Santos and draft compensation just for the Blazers to consider the trade. Yeah man, I think this is a bad trade for the Warriors. A bad allocation of resources and a lateral move at best. Yes, Rob Will on this team next to Draymond would be a defensive demon, but the dude ain't got no knees, bro. Those injuries have already robbed him of a decent amount of athleticism. You would have to manage his minutes for the rest of his career like he's a 35-year-old vet. Like the dude is only 26 years old, and you would have to have him on an auto port or load management plan, and he still might end up getting injured. While TJD is essentially the same player on a lesser scale, but always available, and his contract's only worth $1 million a year. I think the Warriors lose this trade pretty badly as constructed, so it's a hard pass for me on this one. I only did this trade scenario because I noticed a few people in my comments asking about Jerami Grant in a previous video, so I figured why not. Let's just say the Warriors were to make this trade. I'm not a fan of the Jerami Grant Kuminga pairing at the 3 and 4. It's too much overlap in their game. Now I do like the fact that Grant has shot 40% from 3 the past 2 seasons on 5 attempts a game. Next to Kuminga and Draymond, that would be nice, but the main reason I want no parts of that pairing is Jerami Grant is a terrible rebounder. Last season with Portland, he averaged 3.5 rebounds per game as a 6'8" power forward. For his career, he only averages 4 rebounds a game, bro. That's just pathetic. It's inexcusable, it's indefensible. This dude has a rebound rate of 5.8%. For reference, Kuminga, who by no means is a great rebounder, has a rebound rate of 9.8%. Brandon Podziemski, a 20-year-old 6'4" rookie guard, had a rebound rate of 11.7% his rookie year, which by the way is better than any season of Grant's 10-year career. That's crazy, dude. Sounds to me like bro is soft, so it's no chance I'm giving up assets for this dude. Running with 6'5" Draymond at center, and then you gotta count on Jerami Grant, who averaged 3.5 rebounds per game last season, along with Kuminga, to control the boards. It's not happening, bro. The Warriors will get destroyed every time they go small. Jerami Grant has the size at 6'8", but he doesn't have the toughness or the defensive IQ to execute what the Warriors want to do defensively. I'd much rather roll with Wiggins and bet on him bouncing back, while also keeping Moody and Pix as ammo for a different trade if needed. But anyways, that's all I got for y'all. Also, y'all, I apologize for the lack of content this week. I've been busy preparing for and competing in my first half marathon. I got that done this past weekend, July 28th. It was definitely fun. It was my first time doing it. I don't usually compete in things like this. I'm not a fan of running. I usually stick to weightlifting and hoops for cardio. So this was definitely something out of my comfort zone that I didn't see myself doing. But this year I figured, man, why not? Put yourself in an uncomfortable situation and do something you wouldn't normally see yourself doing. So I've been training for that for months, and it's good to see that work finally pay off. I got my medal, 13 miles. It was a fun experience, man. Shout out to the SF Marathon. But yeah, man, now that that's out of the way, we're back to the usual content schedule. And one more thing, for any of y'all that's trying to find new ways to challenge yourself mentally and physically, I'll definitely recommend competing. It doesn't have to be a half marathon. It could be a 5K, it could be a 10K. It doesn't matter. You're not competing against anyone but yourself. It's all about challenging yourself and accomplishing a goal. But I ain't trying to hold y'all much longer. If you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe. If I entertained you or you learned something new, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. I'll holler at you on the next one. Peace.